योगः कर्मसु कौशलम्।
Hello friends, today our guest Dr. Kamaljit Laktharia sir. He is working as an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and he is also coordinator of animation and mobile application. Under his guidance, 14 students awarded PhD degree. He holds an ace in information retrieval, network generation, web series, network security and cryptography. He published 6 chapters in international editorial volume. He is an author of 11 reference books in computer science. He presented many research papers in the national and international conference. He's been invited by Anna University, Pacific University, Saurashtra University as a subject expert. He holds the post of editorial, associate editorial in the many international research journal. Sir, I welcome you on behalf of HRDC and all the participants. I request to Laktharia sir deliver his session. Dr. Laktharia sir.
Hello friends, welcome to the online course organized by HRDC Human Resource Development Center, Gujarat University. We are thankful for Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Pro Vice Chancellor Sir, Registrar and Honorable Director HRDC to organize such online course which is essential in current scenario. Today, myself, Dr. Kamaljit Laktharia, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science. I am Coordinator for Department of Animation, ITIMS and Mobile Applications. Today, in this course, we will discuss e-resources, understanding e-resources and how effectively we can use such e-resources using various platforms. Friends, one thing is fact that today if we want to write a single research paper, analytic paper, or we are guiding MPhil dissertation, PhD thesis, we always require to have a list of resources for our candidates. When we are writing a research paper, we require to have a list of references from where we have taken information, knowledge, data, research methodology or concept for our proposed work. Here, we understand what the word e-resource exactly stands for and how easily we can create a repository of our own research papers, our own references and the frequent references we required to use as and when required. I am sharing my screen to you all. Let us switch to PowerPoint presentation for the same. So friends, e-resource. If we recall our perspective of research or publication before 15-20 years, for accessing a single thesis or a single hard copy journal, we required to get permission from any particular library. Then only is possible that we access a thesis or dissertation or a single journal. With the revolution of internet and particular for the technologies, we are very happy and fortunate that we can simply search any particular research topic by our smartphone or tablet or laptop computer. What e-resource consists? Information and communication technology affects various aspects of education and research communities in a manner which is positively. Internet is the most influential platform where people from across the world for similar hobby, similar activity or a similar academic objectives are sharing their views, research, publication, results, all such. This resource provides on various sources of electronic resource and are very informative and useful for educational, professional and student research work. Nowadays, it's easy to access internet and easily retrieve the data. But now, again, the second question, the second problem is here that we must require to restrict the content, because now the data is, again, we are working in a giant data. It's literally a giant data, huge database everywhere. So how do we restrict ourselves for accessing valuable, proper, and verified database? Further, we require to deal with authentic data corpus only. The e-resource is an electronic information resource that user can access through online library. E-resources can be accessed from anywhere at any time because it's internet based. There is no required to get approval from library or so and so concern. It's available. Majority of e-resource are accessible online. Few international journals used to keep some charges for downloading research papers. Today we will also discuss that how we can bypass such thing and we can access for academic purpose for such resources. The resources include e-journals, e-thesis, online database, e-books. Many resource libraries are available and that are free of cost and free of charge. How to access e-resource? If everything is web-based, and we are very familiar with Google, but for accessing the same, we require to understand how to shoot a proper keyword. I will show you in my next demo that how do we search effectively for the same. We can access by using keywords or index terms. Not only that, we can even search by author name. We can search with the university name, as well as we can search it with the year of publication or ranging it by restricting to the publication limit. So many theses in India, in global as well. There are giant repositories for PhD thesis are there. One of the example that's created by InflibNet, that is Shodhganga. Any research thesis across the India, you won't require to contact that particular university or library. That thesis up to date full PDF will be available on Shodhganga. That initiative taken by InflibNet under MHRD UGC. Likewise, MGU thesis is there. British Library, Birmingham University, Swedish University, all have kept, and many more are there, their thesis, their dissertation online in a corpus where the user can access it free of cost. There is no required to pay anything. Now next. But what if we require to access global repository? That is important, friends. For global, the main is Google Scholar, academic.research.microsoft, Mendeley, Science Direct, HSRN, and so many. So let us start working live with how to retrieve resources using various web-based platforms. Now I am sharing my Chrome browser with you all. Okay, friends. Here, let us search scholar.google.com. Okay. Here, the screen is having a search bar with search option. Google Scholar is there. The menu shows my profile, my library, alert, metrics, advanced search, setting. Okay, there is my profile, my library. Okay. As a layman, let me start this thing with a basic search term. There is the index term, that is wireless network. Friends, we are having almost 25,70,000 results. Why is it so? It's a really giant data. It's a really giant data. Why is it so? Because what I have searched is an umbrella term, is a broad term. I require to search wireless network security using X509 encryption. So now the 25 lakh plus result is reduced to 14,500. Then also it's a big number. Earlier I have only searched this term wireless networks. What happened? If my term is broader, happened what? That it give me a broad result, a large result. Say for example, if I am simple search in Google Map, Ahmedabad is almost 100 plus kilometer radius area district. But if I optimize, precise my search with exact Naurangpura, then you check it on screen, that it reduced from 100 kilometer plus area to 4 or 5 kilometer radius area Naurangpura. Again, I am searching very clearly, that is Gujarat University, Naurangpura, Ahmedabad. Happened what, friend? It exactly show me the location, Gujarat University. And again, if I search HRDC, Gujarat University, Naurangpura, Ahmedabad, it will directly show me the proper building where the HRDC is located. This is how an precise search works. If I have mentioned here, wireless network is a big term. Wireless network may be used for security, for connectivity, for establishment, for so many purposes. But my search is against security for wireless network, and that security also will provided by X509 encryption technique. So here I have that limited results which use these all terms on screen. Okay, Google Scholar on my panel, you can filter your result by year. We don't, for particular technology, we want to use only last 2 or 5 years research work. We don't want to touch prior research work. So we can click here that papers only after year 2016. So it's there, it's after 2016. So now the 14,500 is reduced to 3,950 results. Happened what? The more I am clear about my research objective for accessing e-resource, more better result I will retrieve using this search method. We can even do it customized from, for example, from 2017 to 2019 only. Okay, then we search. It's again the range year wise. We can select here. One more thing, friends, that we can even sort the data. You just check my screen. You can even sort the data by relevance or by date. So it's now sort by date. The latest 3 days ago, a publication made in this area stand first. Then 4 day, then 5 day. So by using Google Scholar, I can set year-wise limit, year-wise ranging, as well as, friends, I can also establish the latest most 1 day ago, 1 week ago, 1 month ago, 1 year ago, like in order of ascending, the latest order, I retrieve such things. Here is the title of research paper, friends, authors, journal names, 4 or 5 sentences from abstract. Here is PDF also accessible by me, and then 3 buttons. We will discuss how we can use these 3 buttons, but let us complete the left side panel first. If you don't want to include patterns, then we reduce the patterns. Now is exactly we are having 408 research papers. If you don't want to include citations only, we want only full paper, we can do it. Okay, friends. So this is the searching method that we can search by year, we can search by relevance or by date. Let us do by date. Okay. Okay. So now before 3 days, 5 days, 9 days, I retrieve in ascending order. One more thing, that I am actively working under a research topic, for a research topic, and I want to get everyday update, that whatever the latest work supposed to submitted included in Google Scholar, I want the same. You can create alert as well. It's free of cost. In alert, we required to mention the topic title here. We require to mention our email address as well. How many results we want in single email. The moment we create the alert, every day, every week, whatever number of publications updated in Google Scholar portal, that all publications we can retrieve by in our email provided by Google Scholar. So in such, after creating alert, we even don't know the whether we require to search or not know. After creating alert, we don't require to search anytime. Whatever query, whatever index term, whatever the keywords we have submitted, every day, every week, Google Scholar send us an email containing the result. Means you only require to check our emails. One more thing, friends, that we can create multiple alerts for one term, second term, third term, likewise. There is no limit for the same. Okay, I hope you can work for the same practically in your computers after the sessions. Okay, and you require to create at least 3 alerts for your research term using Google Scholar for get it understanding practically. Okay, friends. Now let's move to various other attributes, properties of Google Scholar.